Hey guys, this is Lindsay Weiss here. I am going to talk to you today about inviting and the 5-step process and how it has worked for me. I've kind of made it my own, and I'm going to share that with you. And this has been a great practice for me, and maybe it'd be a great work fit for you. So I'm an 8-star Diamond Elite Beachbody coach. So this is my third year as a coach, so I want to just go over inviting. This is one of the most challenging topics I think some people deal with, and I personally can't thank Danny Johnson enough for bringing out the form technique. When I read First Steps to Wealth, this technique is what changed my whole business. When I got to her event and got to practice, it made it even better. So I encourage you to take notes and then go home and practice what we're going to talk about. Okay, so there's 5 steps to inviting, and what you need to do is get your list of names that you're going to talk to. There's a couple things that I consider in the beginning. One being, do I know them already, or do I not, and I'm trying to build a relationship with them? If I'm trying to build a relationship with them, I personally don't invite right away. I think you can go off your gut feeling as you get to know them, but personally, I want to just build a relationship with them, so it's not, hey, my intention was to get you on this journey with me and buy this from me. Because that's not my intention. My intention is to get to know them, learn about them, and then see if what I have may be a great fit for them and could change their life. So first things first, if I don't know them, I take time to get to know them by forming. So I actually form first, whereas in our 5-step invite process, they talk about inviting first. There's another method of form that I do once I've invited. So first things first is I form. And form stands for family, occupation, recreation, and of course your message. So how I do it is when I first get to know them, I talk about family. I ask about their children. My niche tends to be the moms. So I ask about their children. I ask about their ages. I ask if they stay at home with them. I ask if they're working full-time. And then we sort of transition into the work if they're working. If not, I may ask, about their husband and what he does for a living to get to know them even more. I then will go into occupation, of course. If they do work, I'll find out where do they work, what do they do, what do they like about it, what do they hate about it, what would they change about it. In all this time, I'm looking for a sign. Sign stands for strengths, interests, goals, and needs. So I'm looking for strengths, I'm looking for their interests in the process of forming, I'm looking for a need. Can I help fulfill a need amongst this? A lot of people tend to say it's just a paycheck and there's not much, it's not a fulfilling career for them, and they do long to be with their children. Especially my niche is my mom, so of course they would love to be with their children at all times. If they're a stay-at-home mom, then we talk more about, what they do at home, what do they do with their little guys. And it's great for me because I'm still learning what to do with my twins. So for me, I'm like, what can I do? Especially if I'm meeting them in my local area, and the weather, and we could talk about, like, when I was in Chicago, it was snow for like 4 months straight, and it was very scary for me to leave the house with twins. I didn't know if I was going to slip on ice. It was me by myself. I didn't know if They would, slip between everything. I didn't know how the driving safety would be with them. I just felt stuck in my house. Here in Arizona, it's been more of a heat thing. Like, can I go out in this weather with my kids? Will they, how much water do I need? I gotta think about sunscreen. Anyways, these are just things that help me build a relationship starting out with people before I invite. Now, if I've gotten to know them, I've formed them, we've talked, I've learned about their hobbies, I've learned about what's going on, we move forward into the invite. Now, there's two ways to invite. There's advertising and there's personal invitation, and I do both. So personal invitation may be a message on Facebook, a face-to-face invite, or I think that's the only personal message, or a phone call. Phone call is the other one. Advertising is when you put a post out to Facebook for your following to respond to. So there's two options. I do both. I do better when I advertise. Well, I guess you could say it's balanced, but let's talk about advertising. Okay, so I've gotten to know these people, I've built relationships with them, and I put out a post, let's say, who wants to lose 10 pounds by Halloween? So I get a bunch of responses, and here's how this works. First response you're gonna get is, how much does it cost, right? And, a lot of us want so badly, we're so freaking excited that somebody commented, and we're like, $140 or $160, but we don't want to go there yet. We got to go through the 5 steps. So we're still at step 1 and 2. Now we're going to go into what I call forming on the fitness and nutrition portion of it. This is where I interview them to see if they're a great fit for this opportunity. The one thing I just want to add before I move on is that challengers tend to become your best coaches. So your goal in this process, once you've brought them in, is to get them results, to really focus on them. Just wanted to add that little tip, and I wanted to also add that questions control the conversation. So as we go along, I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and it's important that you continue to ask these questions to build a relationship. All right, so make sure that when you're doing this, you have a plan set, you're ready to go, like you know your process. In my opinion, everyone's process is a little bit tweaked. Tweak it to be yourself. I've tweaked mine. I have what we call the form, the get to know form piece of it. I have the invite piece of it, and then I have what I call the interview forming, which is the fitness and nutrition questions. So, of course, like I said, they're going to ask, what's the cost? We don't want to hand that over. This is the piece that makes people cringe, because this is where the vomiting of Beachbody happens, and everybody, this is the scary piece for people. This is what, turns people off. This is what we call dirty sales, I guess you could say. Like, yeah, you're excited. Yeah, it's a great deal on our end, but our goal right now is to build a bridge, to build a trust with them, and to really get them to understand why they need this product and that it's a good fit for them. And by giving them a price right away without really figuring out why they need it is going to get us nowhere. So the first thing I say is, thanks for reaching out. Before we go there, I'd like to ask you a few questions to see if this is a fit for you. So why are you interested in this? What are your goals? I also ask questions about what have they tried? Do they exercise now? The goal right now is for me to figure out what the best match for them is. Yes, right now I'm gearing towards the 21-day fix, but you got to understand that you do need to be open and ready for the fact that it may be PIO or it may be Chalene Extreme that's the fit for them. That's the great thing about our business is we can connect programs to people that, is a great fit for them. And while I feel the 21-day fix is a great fit for everyone, it may not be a great fit specifically for the person you're talking to. They may need PIO. Now, I also want to just insert the fact that if you get someone interested and they only want the program, yes, we want to focus on the challenge packs. That's important. It is important that they have that Shakeology nutrition. But there are those people who just cannot bring themselves to that point yet. And that's okay. Don't turn them away. Help them. I was one of those people, and I am an elite coach. I've been an elite coach twice. You don't want someone like me who had burnt discs and refused Shakeology for the first, I don't even know how many months. You just don't want someone like me. You don't want to not help me because of that. My opinion is you help everyone without expecting anything in return, and your return will come. Now, another thing is when they do buy the program, they're going to push play, which is our biggest challenge. Our biggest challenge as a coach is to get our customers to push play. If we can get them to push play, if we can get them results and get them excited, that's how we're grooming coaches. That being said, by getting them to push play, there's commercials in the mix. And the commercials talk about Shakeology. And Autumn talks about how important Shakeology is for your body and for maximize results in her program. Same thing goes for P90X, Insanity, TurboFire, PIO, same thing. So Beachbody, Carl, and everyone was smart enough to do that, and they can take care of that. And what happens is generally the person who ordered the program will come back and will buy Shakeology. From experience, a lot of them come back, buy Shakeology, and eventually become a coach. So let's go through the process. Okay. All right. So why are you interested in this group, in losing the 10 pounds by Halloween? What's your goals? What are you doing right now for exercise? These are questions that I ask. What do you eat right now? This is a way for me to be able to explain the challenge pack. I do explain the benefits of the challenge pack as well when we get to that point, but I do want you to know that I am not opposed to people who just buy a program. Okay, so more questions. Have you ever done a Beachbody program before? Okay. You've never done a program that's designed to work for you from beginning to end, takes out all the guesswork. Usually, most of them have never done a Beachbody program. Some of them have gotten one, but they've never completed it. So then I'll ask a question more towards accountability. Like, do you have anyone else who would be on board with you, who would benefit, who would support you on this journey? And see how they respond. And then I would say, do you feel that you would benefit from a private support group who are all on the same journey, sharing and helping each other? And of course, that's the key. So of course they would love that. And again, we don't know if this is a fit. So I say, I don't know if this is a fit for you or not. It sounds like it might be, but I don't know. And at this point, I'm looking for the green light. I'm looking to talk to them about if this is the right fit, and looking for them to agree. So I add in there something that I was taught, which is awesome, is that you say, so I don't know if this is the right fit for you or not. It sounds like it is, but are you willing to make sure this is something you're willing to invest in? I'd like to show you a video that tells you more about the program. Would you have 3 minutes to watch it? Now, This is where we're going into step 3. This is how we bridge from step 2 to step 3. Use third-party tools, guys. Beachbody has created amazing tools for us. There's programs, there's challenge group videos. There are plenty of videos out there on YouTube to use to show your prospect this opportunity for the challenge group. The reason why I say use the video is because nothing can explain it. Like, I don't think we're, I wouldn't say I'm as smart as what that video can show. I used to try to explain it all, and then when I read GoPro by Eric Worre, I was like, oh, just show the third-party tool. Duh, use the third-party tool. And I learned that with recruiting as well. And so what I started doing was I would send the video about Shakeology, and I would send the video about the program. So I'm asking, would you have 3 minutes to watch this video? And I show them the video when they say yes or no. If they say no, sometimes I send them video anyways, just to give them a chance if they do opt to watch it. Now, I would send them the 21-day fix video or whatever video I felt is a good fit for them based on, what's your favorite exercise. Some people need a dance motivation, and when they need that, that's you turn to TurboFire. You don't turn to the fix. You don't turn to P90X. You turn to TurboFire. Some people need, they just love their yoga and Pilates, and Pyo is their thing. And then there's people who struggle with portion control. So yeah, there's that 21-day fix. There's people who want to build weight or gain weight. Body Beast, you just have to interview to figure out what the best fit for them is. Okay. So we've used third-party tools. We're not spewing and spitting the information on them. We have step 2 where we've interviewed them. We have not vomited pricing or any of that. Hold it in. So make sure, if you haven't read GoPro yet, make sure you read it, because they say to make sure you use from bridging step 2 to step 3. Okay, so if I show you a video, would you watch it? Then when they say yes, you say, okay, when can you watch it? Can you watch it now, or do you need to watch it later? And here's where you start to schedule that time, because you're going to need to follow up. There needs to be a 4th vital behavior. That's follow up, follow up, follow up, because following up, that's where your fortune's at. It's really important that you schedule that follow up. So when is the best time that I can follow up with you? Would be, I'm asking, basically, when will you be done watching the video? And due to, most people, it takes a day or 2 to get back to them, depending on if they can see the video and when they're going to watch it and all that. Some of them are at work, some of them can't see video yet, some of them are out and about, some of them can see the video right then and there. So from there, we move to step 4, because we have done the process of showing the third-party tool. Now, I also show the Shakeology video, and I've heard that you can just show the video on challenge groups, which shares the fitness and nutrition, everything in one. For me personally, though, I like to ask them foods, like, what have you been eating? What's your daily menu like? And it helps me, because a lot of the time they'll say, I eat clean. And it's like, well, what's clean? What are you eating? Because eating clean can mean lean cuisine, sandwiches, pastas, stuff that they say it can be healthy, but let's be honest, it's not eating clean. It's not whole, fresh foods. It's not Shakeology. And half the time, they need something like Shakeology, or I would say the majority of the time they need something like Shakeology, because they may be making smoothies and they're throwing all this fruit in there, and they're throwing all these super foods and all this stuff, and they're wasting all this money when they can get it all in one shake. So I then introduce them to Shakeology, and I say, if I could show you something that would help you maximize your results and gain energy, help curb your cravings, would you try it? And they said, sure, I'll check it out. And again, I send the Shakeology video. What is Shakeology, I think, or what's the benefits of Shakeology? It's a brand new one that came out. And I'll say again, what did you like about what you saw? Because I'll schedule a follow-up with them. For me, I guess you could say the process is just a chunk of a bit longer, a tad bit longer, but it still works out very smoothly. Again, tweak this to how you want. And I ask, again, what did you like about the video? And they'll talk about, like, wow, the fact that you get all your fruits and vegetables and your vitamins and all these superfoods that I've been trying to squeeze in, and this is so cool, it's in one shake. And then I ask, do you like how this can help you with your fitness, your nutrition, your accountability? And they'll, of course, probably say yes. And then I'll say, great. So this looks like something you are willing to invest in. And that's where we move to enrollment. We talk about, the challenge pack, what's in the challenge pack, the special on the challenge pack. If it's at special or whatever the price cost may be, they get enrolled. That's that. They start the challenge group, and here's where my goal is to help them get results. So let's say they pick the 21-day fix. We're 2 to 3 weeks, or they're 3 weeks in. They've completed the 21 days. They're super excited. Let's say they've lost 10 pounds. Okay. Family joined them. Her husband, let's say, joined her, and he lost 12 pounds. So as her coach, I want to stick by her side through that journey, and then now I want to find out how it went. So I'm gonna, say, tell me how the program went, how'd it go, and they'll talk about their excitement, and then from there I'll say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about this? The fact that they can fit back in their jeans, or they feel amazing, or they've gained some energy, they've shred some pounds. If they tell me on the scale of 1 to 10, they're an 8 to 10, then this is the time to move to a coaching invite. If this is a longer group, like a 60-day, I will do this in about a 2 to 3 week period as well. So first things first is you've got to praise, disarm, and then ask or invite yet again. So when you're praising, you're going to talk about how amazing they've done, how inspiring they are to you. If you are truly involved in your challenge groups and really in there, you're going to see who is involved. You're going to see who is already coaching. You're going to be able to tell who is meant for this position. That's one of the best ways I was able to build my team before we had challenge groups, is I had a motivational group put together, and I was able to see who was in there posting constantly, and I would pull them to the side, and I would just be like, you're amazing, you're a rock star, you inspire me. I don't know if this is a fit for you or not. This is the disarm, and then the ask, but have you ever considered doing what I do? Have you ever considered being a coach? Now, most of them are going to be like, what is that? Or I don't know, or I'm not good at sales. And you'll get a lot of different answers, and we'll get an interview again to figure out if they're a fit for this. So again, this can go in 2 different directions. Some people may shoot a live webinar, a recorded webinar, or a recorded call for them to listen to that lays out the explanation. And some are going to interview them more to find out more about them. If you interview them, you're going to get more successful coach out of it than if you just throw the webinar at them. Speaking from experience. So you interview them on the 3 vital behaviors. Okay? So first things first is the product of the product. So, we ask, are you going to continue on this journey? Of course, they may try a new product, or they may want to do a couple more rounds. And of course, they love Shakeology. Those are 2 vital pieces to this business. And then I always ask this, like, has anyone commented, or have you talked to anyone else about this program? Have they seen your photos? I make sure they take a before photo. That's key. The photos are really important. So, I'll do that. And that's interviewing them on the invite process. And generally they're like, yeah, my mom or my husband or my coworkers, or I saw my photos, or I posted my photos to Facebook, and people are commenting. And so then I'm asking, could you see yourself helping those people get started like I helped you get started? And would you be opposed to making additional money by helping those people? Money can be a touchy subject. That's why it's really important that I ask that question, because when I bring them in, sometimes they're just in to help others, and it can be a challenge with the money piece. So make sure you ask that question. And then there's personal development. Personal development fuels our brain, fuels our mind, keeps us focused. And we say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a team player would you say you are? We ain't wait for an answer. Again, if it's below 5, they're probably not ready. If you want people to be successful, to become leaders on your team, you're looking for people who want to be a team player. If they are above a 5, I would say, would taking some time to go through the training, through some training to learn what we do, be something you can do. Again, I don't know if this is a fit for you or not, but if I send you a webinar, could you watch it? It's about 20-30 minutes. From there, usually it takes a day or so because they need to go home and they need to watch it. And most webinars need computers. Some, they can't just watch from their phone. So I do that, and then again, once they watch the webinar, what did you like about what you saw? And we go from there. I talk about, do you want to make a little or a lot of income? Do you want to just supplement? I find out if they're a 1, 2, or 3 coach. So 1 is a discount. Maybe they just want the discount. They just want to have their Shakeology at discount. If I find that out in an interview, like I was saying, I guess I could say that I wouldn't be opposed to turning them away. I still bring them on because I think it's fair that they have the discount. And a lot of discount coaches get in and get to be a part of our culture, and they end up actually becoming business builders. Now, a new thing we've been doing is the coach sneak peeks, or the open houses. That's another way for them to get a feel for your culture, for your environment, for your team. And then, of course, step 4, you're going to follow up, which we talked about, in step 5, enroll them into becoming a coach. Those are how I form, how I invite. There is a process to this. You need to be building relationships first and foremost. They need to know that you are their friend. I like to think of this sometimes as friend shopping, because we go on trips together, we do events together, we spend a lot of time together, we are passionate about the same stuff, we have the same things in common, we can relate to each other. So thank you so much for listening to this video. I encourage you to take a moment, go back, take notes, practice this. Of course, if I had somebody here, which I should do a video with someone here to talk to, it'd be a little more smoother with the role playing for you to get it. But thank you so much for listening. I hope this was helpful for you, and have a great night.